Hey all, welcome to Travis and Code channel. So today I will show you what is a theme and how we can handle and change themes in React. So what is a theme? For example, we have a site and we want to see it in two different colors. For example, it will be dark color for night, for example, like this one, and we want to see it in some white light colors like Apple site or Apple products. So we can change our site for different people, for different browsers, based on time or anything else. But how can we do it? So how it should look like? So we have our application, and now here it's a demo. I implemented two buttons. They will switch this theme of application. So right now we have dark, and if you switch Apple, I call it Apple, but you can call it as you want. It changes the color of application. And if you check here, we have dark and white, and when we switch, we see that color is white and background is dark. And here we see that the background is white, but color of this text is dark. So how can we implement it? So let's go to application and start. Let's start from the scratch and create the same empty React application with the React create app, and then we will continue. So here we need to create new app. Let's call it, and it will be theme demo. So to implement this functionality, we need the style components package. Error. Let's try again. So to implement this functionality, we need the style components module, which is very popular for styling components in React, and I use it the last year and a half. It's my best component for styling React components, and it's the best plugin and module. Comparing with other options how we can handle styles in React, it's very good, very good. Okay, it's done, and now let's open in WebStorm our IDE, or you can use any IDE you want, and start this application with yarn start. So we have our application. Let's start it. It's yarn start. So we have our application with our buttons, with our themes, and it works from the scratch, from the box. And okay, so we want to create themes. First of all, let's clarify what themes do we want. In this case, we can create constants folder. Yes, and here we will put file theme. So in this file, we want to clarify what themes do we want. It will be object, so let's const clarify themes. So here we will put names of our themes. I will call it like, as I mentioned before, it will be Darkula. And Apple. But also what I want to mention is that we have two different themes, but there are a lot of the same for these two themes. So in such case, I would recommend you implement something like basic theme, and then all these two themes, they will extend the colors and styles from this one. For example, font style, font size, we are not going to change during switching between themes, but we can put everything in one basic theme. So we declare that we will have two themes. Okay, we clarified the theme names. Now let's clarify these themes. We will create new folder themes, and here we will create a file which will be described styles for each theme. It will be basic, the first one, and here I want to clarify this object with the styles. Is object, and so what I want to see, I want to change my background color. So I want to change background color. I said this one. Color is a font color, and we have a link. So here we have a link, and I won't clarify the color of this link, and everything is put in this basic theme. So now we will have two another themes. Let's create, it will be Apple theme and Darkula. Okay, what can we put here in Apple? So in Apple we will we'll import our basic theme, and then we will extend it as much as we want. So in our case, I don't want to extend it right now, so I will use basic as a basic theme, and then here you can add something what you want. I will show you it on Darkula theme. So let's open Darkula and do the same. So for Darkula we again import basic theme. We will use it here. We can override the properties. So we have background and we change the color for dark, because in basic we had white, bright color. For dark color we will have dark color, and of course font color we will change to white, because previously we had something dark. And link color we won't change because it's described in basic, so I guess it will be fine for us. And now let's group together all these themes. We will create new file index. And here what we are doing, we import all the themes we described and then just export them. And now we can import everything from theme folder. We don't need to specify a file, but everything what we need is already accessible. Okay, so now what do we want? We need to configure app.js, and here we need to implement our theme providing. For do it, we need to install styled components. So let's call it yarn add styled components. Okay, and let's start. I will put new code here below this one. First of all, we need import theme provider. Theme provider, it will provide the state of the theme to all components, and we can use this theme in any component inside the theme provider. So what we do, we need to wrap our application, the whole application, with this theme provider. And here. And what we need to pass is a theme. We need to pass a theme. It will be a theme of our application. And right now we have no get theme. We'll put this functionality to another function and the theme name. So theme name is the name of our theme. We already have them. It's in constants theme. It's Darkula Apple. Okay, so let's create this theme name. To use it, we will create the use state hook, and here const theme name set theme name use state, and we want to use some theme. By default we will use basic, so we need to import it. So we have these themes, and as default value we will use basic. So it's okay. Now we have this theme name. We need to declare this function, and we will create it in separate file. We'll call it get theme. So what do we have here? We imported all themes we have. It's Darkula, Apple, and Basic from themes folder here, from index.js file, and then for constants, here we forgot to export default, so themes will export the default themes, and here in get theme we have these themes, and get theme, it's very easy. It's just one switch. We pass theme name, and in case it's a Darkula, we return Darkula, or it's a theme Apple, we return theme Apple, or we just return basic. So here we can extend it as much as we want. So we can return or change this theme or add something. Right now it's very simple. So it means if this theme is Darkula, we will return object theme. So let's open it. We will open and we return this object with styles or with properties for background and for color. And let's get back here. So it's pretty easy. So we pass a name and get an object with the styles. So in our app.js file, we need to import this get theme. And now we have this get theme. So we have a prop theme and we get a theme based on theme name. Let's open our application, let's check. Oh, here, yes. So we export default, so but here for get theme, it's just a function, so don't forget to import this function. Okay, and now we have functionality. So it works great. And if we will change theme, for example, for Apple, check it. Okay, right now it doesn't work, but why? It doesn't work because we need to use these themes in our application. We created themes, but we didn't use it. So for example, let's change our header. We will create style components header. Let's create new file styles, style.js, and here we will create our header component. We will use styled object from style components, and it has such values like tags. It's a tag div, so we just extend the styled div, and the whole functionality is copied from index from app CSS. Here we have for app header these styles. Let's copy them and put in styles.js. And also, what can we do it right now? We have access to props, and we have a theme prop, and here we have properties like background and color. These properties we defined here in our object. And now we said that background color should be taken from theme background value property, and the same for color. Okay, now we have this header component, and let's go to our application and use this component. Now we have header, and what we need to replace this header with our header, and we don't need anymore this app CSS, this app header class. We can remove it, and let's check how it works. And now we see that our application is white. And now what we need to do in our app.js, we need to implement functionality to switch these themes. It's pretty easy to do. Let's create two buttons, and on click, and we will click on button. We want call function which just set theme name, and for this one it will be themes Darkula. It's a button, and copy that, and we need the same for Apple. And now let's default value, let's change again to basic. So we have set theme name, and let's check. Okay, we have these two buttons, and when we switch Darkula, we see that background was changed, and when we click to Apple, we see that Apple was changed also. Also, we see that color is changed because of we described it in our application for header. We change that background will be changed and color. So when we switch between the themes, font of color is changed. So we have this link. Let's change this link additionally. So let's go to our styles again, and we will create here one new component. So this component we will call uplink. And the color will be link color. So we can use this component. Again, in our app.js we will import this new component, and here we will replace this link with our component, and we do not need any more uplink here because we replace it with the component. And here we have a color. So now when we will switch, let's change this color. For example, we will describe it for dark color, it will be red, for example. Not the best, but okay. And let's reload. So we see that it's white, it's a basic, and for dark color we see that color is red. And again, so it works as we expected. So it's very easy functionality. So let's sum up how we did it. First of all, we created a list of themes we are going to support, because sometimes there might be not 2, 3, 4, 5, any number you want. We describe what themes we want. Then we describe and created these themes with styles. We started from basic. In basic we describe all colors, fonts, and everything what we need, all style. And then we described or specify different themes by default. We described and clarified different themes. So dark color, it's using basic, but the properties what we need we can overwrite with another properties, with another values. Then we exported it everything together, and after that we created a theme provider, and we passed a name, and we passed a theme object based on the name. So name we get from the state. Right now we are getting it from state right here, but in the future we can use context and save it in context, and then switch value from and get it from the context. But right now it's fine because we have two buttons, and when we click on this button we change theme name, and then theme is updated. After that we created two components. It's a header and uplink. It's a style components. We can see them here in style components. We extended div and link tags from styled object, from style components, and we clarify what we need to see. It's default styles from create React app, and after that we describe that background color and color should be changed, and also color for uplink. And in our application we just using this functionality. It's pretty easy, and as a result we have switchers and styles are changed. And that's it. Thank you for watching, and also you can find the whole source code you can find in GitHub. The link will be in description.